Welcome to Nancy Unfiltered Nightly Nancy News Show. How are you guys doing today? Mwah. Love you guys. So tonight we're venturing into a world that's been around for like thousands of years. It's so cool, right? But still manages to explain everything we hate and love about people. Zodiac signs. Ah. Yes, astrology. But before you roll your eyes, hear me out though. This isn't about cheesy memes or fortune cookie horoscopes, anything like that, right? We're talking about how people really behave, how they clash, and yes, how the stars might be laughing at us while we bumble through life. From the stubborn Taurus who refuses to leave their bed during emergencies to the dramatic Leo who can host a one-person right while I'm recording. Are you something? Right while I'm recording. Anyways, sorry about that. I had technical difficulties. So where was I? So basically, to the dramatic Leo, we were talking about who could host a one-person Broadway show in line at Starbucks. Every sign is quirks that are painfully accurate and often hilarious. Tonight we'll explore them and compare them to real human behavior, and yes, make fun of all of us just a little bit. Just a little bit. Be right back with more with the zodiac signs. So let's start with the fire signs, okay? The signs are bright and leave a trail of chaos behind them. Aries, if you're an Aries, you are an unstoppable force, right? I once watched an Aries friend attempt to assemble IKEA furniture without reading the instructions, yell at the hammer though, okay? And then somehow end up with an extra screw and a shelf upside down, okay? They don't fail. They just turn disaster into adventure. It's exhausting, yet inspiring though at the same time. Then we got the Leos, right? How many Leos are out there? The dramatic king and queens of attention. Even a mundane story about grocery shopping becomes a performance art piece. One Leo I know was stuck behind a toddler, right, in a stroller at the checkout line, then proceeded to narrate the entire interaction like a sports commentator. The child didn't care, but the audience, my apartment via FaceTime was riveted, okay? Then, right, you got Sagittarius, the wanderers, you know? The type, endless energy, infinite optimism, sometimes wildly oblivious to the fact that life is just hard, okay? A Sagittarius friend I had one time, she took a wrong turn on this hiking trail. We were doing this fitness thing together. Oh my God, and that was exhausting, by the way. Ended up in a stranger's backyard and turned it into a full-fledged adventure yet. Complete with stories, pictures, and zero shame, let me tell you. She embodied freedom, chaos, and just enough recklessness to keep life interesting. And the humor cue of this is watch them interact with other signs. It's like watching fireworks in a hurricane. They're loud, bold, and sometimes reckless and totally unforgettable, okay? Oh, God, they're so exhausting. Then we have the earth signs, the Taurus, the Virgo, and the Capricorn. They're grounded, practical, and often terrifyingly persistent. Taurus is stubborn to the point of absurdity. Oh my God. I had a friend who was a Taurus. Is a Taurus though, but obviously. But refused to leave their couch for 3 freaking days because the world needed a break too. They're dependable, yes, but also infuriating when they dig in their heels. The humor cue with Tauruses is try to convince a Taurus to eat something green. They'll stare at the kale like it's personally insulted their ancestors. What is wrong with you, Tauruses? Then you have the Virgos, obsessively detail freaking oriented. Like my mom, I watched her literally rearrange her OCD self, love her death, rearrange a bookshelf by color, size, and frequency of use, and then apologize to the books, okay, for disturbing their natural order. They see the world in systems and logic, which is beautiful though. It collides with chaos, like say toddlers, pets, or anything unplanned. Then you have the Capricorn, the ambitious overachievers. They're terrified of failure. Sounds like you if you're a Capricorn. Obsessed with climbing the ladder and yet secretly terrified of slipping on a banana peel and having the universe laugh at them. Now, Capricorns, though, they work hard, they plan hard, and they also occasionally binge watch reality TV and wonder why they are stressed. Observation that I had was earth signs might appear boring compared to fire signs, but they are secretly hilarious. I love that. Hilarious. I love to laugh because mostly they take everything seriously while the universe delights in throwing absurd chaos their way. Then we've got the air signs. Okay, they're unpredictable, witty, and occasionally infuriating. Ah. Geminis are dual personality experts. I tell you what, I once spent an entire coffee day with a Gemini. He was alternated between telling a psychological story about life's meaning and obsessing over which flavor of whipped cream is superior. The contrast is chaotic, hilarious, and strangely relatable. I don't know how. This is weird. Love you, Geminis. Libras are charming diplomats. They can talk anyone down from an argument, and then they start a completely new debate about the ethical implications of their coffee choice. They want peace, but they also enjoy debating the very concept of peace. Then you have Aquarius, the eccentric geniuses. Love them. One of them I know, excuse me. Oh gosh. They tried to invent a self-stirring coffee mug and ended up drenching their laptop in milk in college. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. The brilliant ideas met absurd execution, which means life is unpredictable, entertaining, and slightly dangerous if you're standing nearby. Humor key for them is air signs interact also with fire signs, and chaos is guaranteed. Physiological discussions, psychological discussions even can turn into comedic misadventures. And the beauty of it is you can't anticipate what they'll do next, even if you read their horoscopes like religiously. Then you've got the water signs. They're emotional, intuitive, and occasionally terrifying in their depth. Cancers now. Who's a Cancer out there? Our caretakers and warriors of the heart. I had a Cancer friend once I knew cried while watching a commercial for toilet paper because it reminded them of their childhood comfort. They felt everything deeply, and you either ride the emotional wave or get swept away. Scorpio, that's me, by the way, is intense and secretive. You never know what's going on behind that calm exterior. Now, so I spent an entire dinner, I'm going to tell you all a secret. I spent an entire dinner silently observing this waiter's shoe choice and then delivered a 10-minute analysis to a group of people I was hanging out with of personality based solely on footwear. I'm just dark, clever, and hilarious, at least to me. Then you have the Pisces, dreamers who float through life on imagination only. Pisces, oh my gosh, I had a friend, oh, she was hilarious, started writing a self-help manifesto in a notebook and then completely abandoned it to doodle mermaids for hours. Her world was just magical, confusing, it seemed like, and often made the rest of us question our sanity, my own sanity, for gosh sakes. The observation I have about water signs are they are emotionally glue of life. They feel everything. And we sometimes are absurdly funny, and it's like watching them sob through a dog adoption video, which I do, while also simultaneously critiquing the cinematography of the dog adoption video. So, yeah. Anyway, so wrapping it all together, what do we learn from astrology tonight? Anyone put it in the comments? People are chaotic, hilarious, and predictable in the most entertaining ways. Fire signs ignite chaos, earth signs ignite absurd order, and air signs float unpredictable, and water signs remind us that emotions are a superpower, even if it doesn't make sense. And understanding people through zodiac signs isn't about rigid categories. It's about seeing patterns, laughing at ourselves, and appreciating the quirks of those around us. Humor, curiosity, and chaos are universal, no matter what the stars say. Anyways, this is Nightly Nancy News Show. Stay unfiltered, observe the stars, laugh at the chaos, and remember the universe might be writing the zodiac signs all around us, but we will improvise our own cosmic comedy. Anyways, thank you for joining us on the Nightly News Show. We will have a new podcast in a couple of days. Join us, and I will see you later. Nancy out.